Pumping music, sweet DJs, smoke machines and laser rays. Look out weekend, 'cause here I come.
I'm manifesting.
Hopefully I can get through this video without someone calling me. Hey everybody, welcome back to Intuitive Safe Haven. It is your girl Rose, and yes, we are in my bed right now. And if you guys are new to my channel, I do makeup and mindset videos where I do makeup tutorials, I do manifestation videos, and this is my Japanese language journey. So if you are interested in lifestyle, makeup, and laughs, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you know when I come out with new videos. Today's Japanese language vlog is kind of a mixture of week 6 and 7. And I will say this because during week 6, I kind of found myself saying this a lot. I don't really have a study plan. It has been a challenge to study this week. Still haven't studied yet. 昨日勉強しませんでした. Yeah, so what I decided that I had to do was kind of take a look at my life. Like, I really had to take a look at my life, my schedule, everything that was going on, so that I can adjust it to the changes that are happening in my life. So if you guys didn't know, I did get me a part-time job at LensCrafters, so now I have to incorporate that into filming and studying. So let's get into how I did that. So one of the first things that I had to do in order to kind of adjust my study schedule is to really take a look at my schedule. You know, I really didn't have a set schedule for anything. I kind of just did things on the go and I kind of listed things. But what I started realizing in the last couple weeks is that that method was not working for me. So what I decided to do was, excuse me. Sorry, I'm reading off a notebook because I can't remember it because I just got done smoking weed. But anyways, what I decided to do was go into my phone calendar and, you know, start looking at places where I could start setting a schedule up. And so the first thing I did was add my work schedule in because I did get a schedule for work already. And so I added that into my calendar. Then what I did was I started adding an ideal study time to my calendar so that I have specific time where I have to sit down and study. So I have that time blocked off. Then for extra productivity, I decided to incorporate my filming schedule for YouTube into this calendar. So that way it's not just for my study purposes, but it's kind of like an all-around, you know, accountability setter. So that was one of the first things that I did. The next thing I decided to do was really take a look at my study space and my study materials. Yeah, they were all over the place. There was no type of organization. I had no type of plan in place, and whatever plan I had, it was kind of half-assed and combobbled. So what I decided to do was go to the Dollar Tree, or the $1.25 tree I call it, because they don't went up on their prices. But I went to the Dollar Tree and I decided to get organization containers. And what these containers did for me was it really helped me organize my books and, you know, the papers that I needed and keep them like in separate containers. Now, the next thing I did was set up a better study plan because honestly, like, I had a study plan, but it was not really structured the way I needed to be structured. So what I did was I went onto my computer and I made a couple of spreadsheets and, you know, organized them and put them in the bins that are marked next day. So that way I have, you know, a plan already on what I'm going to be studying the next day. And yeah, I mean, right now it seems like it's working. It seems like it's helping. So let's get into this week's lesson because I need to get some studying done. All right, everyone, so let's get to studying. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of these bins here, the one that is labeled Tsuki, meaning next, and I'm just gonna grab all my materials that I organized beforehand and I'm gonna get to work. So I have my my schedule for my studying and everything. So I went a little bit more deeper and did a checklist. And so I'm gonna get started off on the first thing, which is kanji practice. Kanji practice is very important, especially if you're learning Japanese, because many things are written in kanji. And so what I'm doing here is I'm getting my hands accustomed to writing kanji characters. And what this does is it helps me focus on stroke order so that when I do freehand write it, it's legible to most people that can read Japanese. The next thing that I'm going to do is write in my journal. So writing in my journal helps me kind of think of more sentences and original sentences on my own. And it also helps me develop, understanding of how to write and construct my own sentences in Japanese. So it's another way of, practicing my output. The next thing that I'm gonna do, since we have already spent so much time doing everything else, is practice on my Benkyo app. And with my Benkyo app, it basically integrates hiragana, katakana, and kanji all in one app. And it gives you, a quiz on the things that, you may be possibly forgetting. Hence, spaced repetition. So with this system here, I can usually keep up to date and drill myself on different occasions of the day, which makes it really convenient because I have, a study guide right in the palm of my hand. And as you can see, I still need to study a little bit more. The last thing on my list here is the Genki vocab. So Genki is the book that I'm studying out of. So naturally I would want to keep up with the lessons and go through the grammar as well. So this is what I did. And after I finished all of my tasks, what I do now is I grab my prepare lesson bin and I start moving everything in the prepare lesson bin into my Tsuki bin. So I know that the next time that I have to reach and go study, that, these are the materials that I need to study for that day. So the convenience in this is it does keep me up to date and it keeps me more organized and prepared. The only thing is, because I only have 2 book bins, to help conserve space, I've only gotten 2. I have to prepare my lessons 2 days in advance. It's okay though, because it gives me more room and space to really examine my study routine and make sure that I'm keeping up with it and being held accountable. So with that being said, since it's the end of my study week, I'm just gonna put everything back and prepare everything for the next week. Now, I don't study on Saturdays and I try to limit, the amount of information I take in on Sundays. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of this video, you guys. And I hope you guys learned something from this. If you're studying another language, make sure you're evaluating your plans and how you can fit your studying in midst of your life, because life does happen and sometimes we lose motivation. But as long as we go back and examine where we went wrong and how we can improve, we will always succeed. So I will leave off on that note. If you guys finished watching till the end, you guys are awesome. Please consider subscribing if you want to continue to follow me on my fluency journey. as well as check out my other playlists. I do have some funny videos. Check them out and follow me on all my social medias so you can see what I've been up to on a daily basis. I do post daily on all my social medias. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you on next week's Japanese vlog so we can document the progress of this new system.